Hello Dynamics developers. So in this video, I will show you how to configure the entity form. Now it is called the basic form in the Power App portal. So how we can use the entity forms to render the forms from the Dynamics to the portal. So I will be showing the demo of that. So to display that, we will be using the web templates and the page templates, and also finally the web pages, which will be using these entity forms to display the page on the portal. Also, I will create the separate page to display the entity list. I mean the tables, or you can call the subgrids, where we can display the list of records, and we can have the buttons for the filters and search and create those things. So I will show you how to configure those. And finally, in the navigations of on the header of your portal, in the top of your portal, you will have the navigations for the home screen. And if you have any other links there, if you want to add your child pages, then how to do that, I will show you that one. So let's proceed the configuration of this one with the demo. Here I have logged into my portal. So this is my portal, and I have logged in with the admin privilege. So when you log in with the administrator web roles, so I mean to say is, when you go to the your dynamics in the portal management tab, when you enable the portal, then you will have the portal management app created. So this is the portal management app. So when you go to this app, and you will when you go to the web roles, then you will see you will have the administrator web role. So when this web role is assigned to your contact, and when you log into this portal, then you will see this small right side icon here, which will enable you to edit the most of the client side changes here. So like if you want to change this company name or logo, you can change from here in the main navigations. If you want to change something here, if you want to add the pages or child pages, you can do that one. Along with that, in the content, if you want to add some changes, you can do that. So most of the changes for the pages, you can do from here. Okay, so I have logged into my portal, and here I will be adding one link here, and that link will display me the create and existing records. And to do that, first of all, I have to create the forms in the dynamics, right? So for that, already have logged into my solution. This is my dynamics, and this is my solution. And here I am having the entity called student, and on that entity I am having the forms. I'm having the two forms. One is for the create, another is for the edit. On the create, I'm having the one tab. So on this form, I'm having the student details, some basic informations I'm capturing, and I'm having the basic address details fields, and this is having only one tab. Okay, so this form I want to render on the web on the Power App portal, so that the portal users, they can create the record of the student. Okay, so this is for the create, and we are having the similar fields for the edit also. Like when the record is created and user is trying to open that one to view the details of the student, then it will render the same details. You can see the layout of the field is similar to the create one, and it will display the same. Okay, so I have created two forms. And also for the entity list, I will be using the existing uh, views here. So I'm having the out of the box created view, active strings and inactive strings. So basically these two views I will be putting in the list, and I'll show you how to display the records using the views from the dynamics. Okay, so these are the two things I have done in the dynamics. Now, remaining configurations we will be doing in the portal. Okay, so I have already opened the couple of portal tabs. You can see these all are my portal management app here. Uh, so I have three tabs open for the portal management. Okay, here. So first of all, I have to create the entity forms, right? As I mentioned, so I will be creating the entity form first. So for that, I will go to the my basic form here. Now in the Power App portal, it is called a basic form. So we'll go to the basic forms, and we will be creating the new form from here. So we can give the name here, student create. Okay, or student insert you can give. Okay, and here we have to select the table, and table is nothing but our entity in the dynamic. So here it will be our student, that entity, and on that entity you will have all the forms which we have created. So you can see these are the main forms which will be coming here. So I mean to say is when you go to the forms, you will have the couple of card forms and quick view forms. So you can't use those ones. You can see we can use only these main forms on the portal. Okay, so one of the form which you will design for the portal uses, you will be selecting that one. So I am selecting the create form here which I have created, and the mode of this web form will sorry entity form will be for the insert means for creating one. So I will select the mode as created, and we have to select the website, on which website we want to register. Since my portal is custom portal, this is my custom portal, so I will be selecting this website as a custom website here. So custom website portal, I will be selecting this. And here I'm not selecting this entity permissions. So for this the for entity permissions, I will be creating the separate video and explain you what is the use of this. Basically, when you enable the entity permissions, the particular web page which you will use here for this entity form, then that page can be enabled to be accessed only by user who has logged into this portal, and who is having entity permissions allowed for this record to get create or edit or something. That permissions, if it is allowed, then only they can open these applications. I mean, they can access and they can manipulate the data of this entity. Apart from that, suppose when you have not checked, means you have unchecked this one, then this form is, it can be accessed by anonymous user, like it will not have any permissions enabled, and it can be accessed outside the login also. Like if you're not login and you want to access the particular forms outside the sign in options, then we will be not enabling the entity permission. So mostly you will have the lead capture forms, some contact registration forms, where you will be giving those web pages or the forms to the portal users to get access without logging to the portal. So those will be the anonymous type of forms. So we then I mean in that way, so we will not check this entity table permissions. Okay, so here I have not checked this one because I don't want this form to be get access by the login users. I just want this form as a, this entity form as a anonymous accessible. Okay, so I have selected this one, and now here if you have a specific tab, you can select this one. So you can see in the dynamics, if you want to display the particular tab only on the web pages, you can select the tab also. If not, then you can ignore that one. Suppose if you want to display the entire form, then you will not select any tab, you will be selecting only form here. Okay, so now I'm going to save it. Okay, so my create entity form is created for the student. Okay, and now I'm going to create for the edit also. So I'll go to the basic form, create new, it will be student, edit. Okay, and entity will be, table will be the student, and the form this time I will be selecting the edit form. Okay, and here again I don't want to select any particular tab, so I will not select, and here the mode will be edit. So means when you select the edit button, then in the bottom of the form you will have the submit button. But when you select the read only form, then at the bottom you will not have the submit button, and you can't edit anything on the form. So if you want to edit some changes and you want to submit, I mean after doing the changes you want to update the details of the record, then you will use this update button on the form when you get, when you open this particular form, particular record on the portal. So I'm using this mode as edit because this I want to be editable type, and here this will be record type as a query string, and this will be taking with the id here, and it will be for the website custom web portal here. Okay, and again here I'm not enabling this entity permissions. Again I want this form as an anonymous type. Okay, so I'm going to save now. So here I have created those two forms, entity forms. One is for the student insert and for the student edit. Okay, Now I have to create the page templates and web templates for this. Okay, so first of all, I will be creating the web templates. I'll go to the web templates here, then create new web templates. Okay, so now here I'll give the name as a um, student create web template, and website will be custom portal. Okay, saved. So similar to that, I have to create the one web template for the edit also. So I'll go to the web template again, new web template, student edit web template. Okay, so I have created now. So with this web template, we can have the multiple child page templates. So I will be creating the multiple page templates here. So one of the page template I will be using for the web pages. Okay, so here I'm going to create the new page template for the edit. So here I'll give student edit page template, and the website is custom portal, and instead of rewrite it will be web template. So by default you can see automatically edit the web template will be selected here, and if you want to make this as a default you can make that, and if not then you can ignore them. So I have just given the mandatory details here. Now I'm going to save it. So my edit web page template is created. Now similar to that I will be creating for create also. So I'll go to the page templates and create the new page template for create. So student create page template, and here again, so I have selected. Now save. So I have created the page template for against these web templates. Now again, when you go to the page template, so again inside that we can have multiple child web pages, and well these web pages will be rendered to the portal and customer end. Okay, so here I will, in the web pages I will be consuming these two entity forms which we have recently created. Okay, so first in the create web page template, so I'm going to add the new web page here. So I'll go to the web pages, and you can see as of now we don't have any web pages associated. So I'm going to create the new web page for this. Okay, so I will give the name of this as a student web page, student create web page. Okay, okay, inside that this for custom portal, and the parent page will be home. I want to display under the home page, so it will be under home. Okay, and the partial URL is important. In the partial URL we will be giving the namespace. So something like when you click on something, say you are going to create the contact here, so you will see some a slash or something URL will be coming here, so that will be our partial URL. So that URL we have to give here. So for this I'm going to give create student. Okay, and the page template just now what we have created, so student create page template, and a state will be published. Okay, and here we will take the basic form. So basic form is nothing but our student create form. So student insert, this is the form which we have created here. So this is the basic form, right? This form we are going to associate here to this web page as a, which will be rendered here. Okay, so I'm going to select this one, so save it. Okay, so my web page for the student create is created. And you can see by default, since in my portal I'm having only one language, so that is why only one language. This is the content page which it will be created, and content page will have similar informations to the web information page. So by default in the web pages there will be two pages. One is the information and one is the content pages, and the content page is nothing but the actual particular page which will be rendered at the client side, the portal. So you can see this is how it is configured for the content page. So if you want to display some title for this one, you can give the some title on this page, create student, like that. Okay, and then you can save this one. So like this, the web pages how I have created for the create, I'm going to create for edit also. So I'll go to, this is my page template for edit. I'll go to the web pages here, then I'll create the new web page. This will be a student edit. Okay, now website is custom portal, home, and partial URL I'll give edit student. Okay, and then in the page template it will be student edit page template, and state will be published, and the advanced form is not required here. This is the form, and that is student edit form. So this is the basic form which we created here, a student edit, and this form I'm going to associate here for this web page. Okay, now save it. So there are some other details. You can use that one if you want to expire the form based on the date. You can do those. You can utilize these options. Then we are having other various options we can add. Other informations if you want to attach, you can add here. Okay. So now my web page is created, and for this also I'm having the content page created automatically. So for this I'm going to change the title of this page as a edit student. Okay, save and close. So now I have created the web pages now. So what I need now is like say when my uh, student is created, then I want to open the same student record in the edit form. So how we can do that? So for this, when you go to the your basic form for the insert, and then you can see we are having options for the on success. So when you go to the on success setting, there you will have the two options. One is for the display message, another is for the redirect. When you use the display message, then it will when you click the submit button after filling the mandatory data on the form, then it will display the small pop-up with that like the record is created successfully. So but instead of that, what I need is I want to render my I want to change my form to the edit one, because after doing the submit I want to change something, then I can do that one. So for that I will be redirecting one, and then I will be selecting the student edit form. So I'll go to the edit student edit web page. So I will be rendering after creating the record. I want to render to the student edit page, and there I will be appending with the existing ID here. Okay, I will be changing with the existing ID. There are other form options like on the form, if you want to enable the captcha, so the authenticated users, then you can do that one. There are some additional settings. If you want to use these ones, you can use in your basic form or the entity forms on the portal. There we are having the additional options here also. If you want to write some JavaScript or some buttons, you can do those ones also. Then we are having the table references and the basic metadata forms. Those things, if you want to utilize in your entity forms, then you can do that. So as of now, I'm not using that one. So just I wanted to render to the particular forms in the edit mode once my record is created. So for that, this is a setting we have to do. Okay, so now our uh, entity forms and the web pages are created, and web templates are also created. Now we'll have the problems, because we have created the we have added the entity form here, but we have not associated it to the template. So what I'll do, I'll go to the page templates from here. So this is the page template, and then I'll go to the web templates. So inside the web templates here we have to write some code which will be associating our this student form here, so entity form here. So I'll go to here, I'll add the couple of lines of code, liquid code here. This will be block main. I'm taking the main block, okay, and block, and inside that I will be including the entity form. So it will be entity form, entity form, and then name. It will be with this name. Okay, so I have included the entity form with the name student edit. Sorry, it will be for create. I'm sorry. So for the this is for create one, right? So create template we have to include the insert one. This is the form we have to include here. So I will include this name here. Okay. Now save and close. So this is the thing we have to write here. Okay. So then for the edit also we have to write the same thing. So we'll go to the student here. This is the web page template, and then here again we will be writing the same thing, but instead of the insert we will have the edit here. So we'll take the edit name. Okay, so now we have added. So finally we have included the our entity forms to the web pages, and we have included in the web template also. Okay, now as I mentioned before, I will be using the entity list to display the list of tables, a list of records in the table format on the one of the entity page. So what I'll do for that, I'm going to create the new web page. So I'll go to the web page here. So in the web page, this web page will be displaying our existing, student records in the table. So I'll take this name as a existing student. Okay, and it is web page. Website is custom portal. It will be also in the home. The partial URL will be existing student. Okay, and then page template. We can use anyone. So we can use the blank also, no problem. So blank page, then we can use the state will be published. Okay, and then here we will be using the entity list. So before I create the entity list, I will first save it, and then I will create the entity list from here. So this is my web page. Inside that I will be having the entity list here. So I'm going to add the new entity list, and here, okay, so I'll give this name as a existing student entity list. Okay, and then table we have to select for which table you want to take the entity list. So it will be the for the student, so student table name, and this is for the custom portal website. And now after saving, we'll have the views here which we can associate. So when you click add view, you can see by default so those views which are like which can be used here, it will be displaying here. So in the real-time project you will be using your own own public views to display the details of the related records in this table. So I'm selecting one for the active students, another view I will be selecting for inactive. As I mentioned before, so I will be using these two views to display the data on the portal entity list. Okay, so after that there are some other informations, but we will be going through these details later on. Okay, so first I'm going to save with these details. Also now I'll go back from here, and as I mentioned, since I have used the blank page, but instead of that we have to use the our own web template. So for this what I'll do, let me duplicate this tab here. I want to create the web template for the existing student list. So I'll go to the web templates, go to new, and here this will be our existing student web template. Then portal name we have to give and save. Then again that inside that we'll have the page template. So we will create the new page template, and this page template we will associate here in the page template. Okay, so we are going to create this new, this is existing existing student page template. It will be for the web template. Okay, selected. And if you want similar, if you want to select, give the table name a specific, then you can give. So I don't want, then save and close. So now this is the page template which we will be adding here. So I will remove this one, add this one. Okay, selected. So now our the existing web page, existing record for the student web page we have created, and now the entity list is pending. Sorry, entity list is we have created. Now we will associating the particular entity list also here. So now finally our web pages is developed, and now we want to use this one into the portal here. So what we'll do, inside the home screen, I want to do the navigation. So you can do these navigations from here also. So most of the portal developers who knows, they will be modifying from here also. So you can do, but there is another way we can do, and that is we can go to the that is called the web link sets. When you go to the web link sets, you can see here you will have the primary navigation. So against the custom portal, since this is my custom portal, so for that I'm having the primary navigations here. So all these navigations are called the primary navigations. So on these navigations, we will have the related we'll have the related links here. So when you go to the related web links, you can see under the primary navigations we are having this active related navigation links. So we are having home, contacts, sample page, and applications, and existing applications. So when you see here, we are having the sample. These are the pages under that one. So here what I need is, I want to create the new web link here, and that will be uh, for the student. So I'll go and create the new web link for my student here. Okay, so I'll give this name as a students. Okay, and then it will be for published. And here I want to display on the parent link as a home. Okay, so now I don't want any page to be rendered here, because this will be like this button how we are having here. Under that we are having links, right? So like that I want to design. So let me save this. Okay, so I have added under the home of the parent navigations. Let me see if that is coming here. Let me refresh this. Okay, so it's not coming. So I'll remove this home link maybe, and let me save this again. And under this web link set, we'll have the child links. So these are the child links which will be displayed under the particular section. So I'm going to add the new web links here under this child link, under this student what we have created. So this name will be the create student, and then we'll have the web link set is primary navigation. A state will be published, and it will be rendering to the particular student create form. So we'll have the student. So it will be rendering to the student create page. So I will select that URL. If you have any external URL, you can give that too also. So let me save and close. Then I will be adding the new web link, say a web link, new web link, that will be for the existing record. So I'll select this existing student. Okay, and this is under primary navigation. It is also published. And here it will navigate to the existing student web page. And the page order, I will give this as a 2. Okay, and now save and close. And for the other one, the last one which we created, and for that I will be giving one. So I'm going to give this as a one. Okay, so I think I have created the links under the parent of the student here, and it is under present of this one. So we are having home 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to take this as a page order as 6 we are already having, so I'll take this as a 7. Okay, so now we have given the order of these pages. So now it is completed. These links you can, if you have multiple child pages, you can add the still number of child pages. Like say for the student, I have added these are the child pages for me, two child pages. Under this child pages, if you want to add several child pages, you can add the child using this one. So you can have the multiple hierarchy from here for the related links. Okay, so once my navigations are completed, I'm going to refresh this. Now you can see in the portal I have added the student here. So this is the link, and under that I'm having the create and the existing records. So now let's see when we click on the create, like suppose when we are going for the create link, so it will be render this web page, right? So in the inside this web page we are having the create basic form, and it should render there. So let me click on the create a student. Now you can see the partial URL will be amended here. This is the create form, and this is the form how we have designed in the portal. Sorry, in the dynamic. So for the create form, how we have designed the dynamic form. So it is appearing here, and the below will have the submit buttons. So there are few limitations on the entity forms that these buttons you cannot move anywhere. However, if you want to use this button, a similar button to like other position, like top in the top or the right side of the form or somewhere different location, then you have to create your own button, custom button, and on the click of that, you have to trigger this button. Then this operation will be performed. So like that, you can design. But this button, if you want to use the default button out of the box, then this button will be placed always here. And also all the things will be not rendered on the entity forms. Like if you have added this subgrid on the entity form and you want to try to use the subgrid on the forms on the portal, then no, you can't do that one. So subgrids you can't render on the web pages in the portal. So there are some limitations with the entity forms on the portal. So this is how it is rendered. Now let's check on the existing form. So when you go to the existing student, then it will be rendering this one, but it is blank. Now you can see, since even though we have added the list in, this is the existing web page, and inside that even though we have added the list, it is not this it is not displaying the entity list here. So what I will do is, for this list, what web page we have used here, so I will be amending the web template of that. So in the web template, we will be writing couple of lines for the liquid code, and to we have to add these lines to associate the selected entity list to the web pages. Okay, so for that I will write the block main. Okay, and now we will check if the page contains adx underscore entity list. Why I'm saying adx underscore entity list? We'll check if page has entity list associated. Why means when you go to the let me see the entity list. Web pages. Then we are having the existing student web page here. So when you go to this web page, and we are having the entity list here. So when you go to this entity list, you can see these records are nothing but of type called entity adx underscore entity list. So you can see this is this logical name of this entity, right? So I'm checking on this web page if on this web page, on this page, if it is associated entity list, then I want to render it. Okay, so when you have started the if, we have to end the if and if. Okay, and between that we will be adding that one, so we will include that, include, and we will include the entity list, and here we will give the key, and that will be the page dot adx underscore entity list dot id. So this we will be amending here. So after including the entity list which is selected on the web page, it will be displayed here. So let me save this, and now after saving this web template, when I go to the my uh, existing student web page and try to refresh this, and now we'll see if it is coming. Okay, so let me see. Include entity list key page adx entity list dot id. This is correct. Okay, save, close. Then we'll go to the web page under page template. So we are having the related web page, existing entity web page. Okay, then we are having the student entity existing list. Okay, and under that we have selected the two views, which is fine. And let me add the couple of more thing here. So like here one more thing is, if you want to display the record in the when you get the record in the table here, and you want to display the record when you click the link on the table and you want to display that onto the form, then we can use that one. So we can use this here, student edit web page. Okay, then for create we will use the student create. If you want to change the display name of the button, so you can write create student like this, you can display the name student list. Okay, and again I have not enabled the entity permission, table permission for this. Search I want to enable. Okay, and search in the placeholder text I'll write search student. Same thing for the tooltip also. Then metadata filter I want to enable, horizontal I want in the vertical directions for the filters, and the filters I can add later on. I will see that. So we have included everything here. Okay, let me refresh this again. Okay, okay, sorry, why it is not coming? Because as I mentioned before, this is rendering on the content page. So when you go to the content page of your web page, so here you can see in the content page I might not have selected the entity list. Yeah, so this is the problem. So when you select the particular entity list here on the content page, then particular content page will be rendered here. Okay, so now when I refresh this, I think it will be rendered now. Save, and then title I'll give existing students. Okay, seems right. It may take some time to reflect this. Now you can see here the this one is rendered now. So from the content page, when you associate, then only it will render. So that is the use of the content page. Now I think now you have aware of. So in the content page, you will have the whatever you have mentioned, those will be rendered on the portal endpoint, customer end. Okay. So you can see I have the two views which I have selected on the web pages here. Sorry, entity list here. So this is the two views, active and inactive. If you have multiple views, if you want to display here, you can select here, and those will be displayed here in the down here in the down drop down. So here, if you see the inactive and active, I can see the records here. So when you click the records, as I have configured here, when you see the entity list configuration my here, so you can see when you click the record link, it will open the student edit form with the ID appended. And then if you click the create button here, so if you see the button here, we are having create button. So when you click on this create button, it will open the create form. So let me open this form and we'll see if it is rendering the edit mode. So this link will be changed to edit here. You can see the link is changed to edit, and then ID is appended, and then the details of what we are having on that record, it is rendered here. Now when you go back and click on create button, then it will open the create form. So this is the create form open, and you can register the record form here. So this is how you can configure this. Also, I want to show you some more thing here. So when you go to the filter, so as I mentioned, I have enabled the horizontal filter, but it is not displaying here. Why? Because the filter is enabled, but we have not selected any type of filter here. So here I'm going to select the attribute filter, and it will be, say I want to filter based on the gender. So one field is gender, and not, instead of checkbox, I want drop down list, and you can give this. Then another filter I want based on the email. So say on the field we are having email field, and they can search on this one. So display name will be email, and on that they can search on that. So two filters I have added. Let me save this, and when you refresh this, sorry, button we have to give here. So it I will be filter apply. Okay, save. Okay, so I have updated this one. So I think a filter should be displaying now. Now you can see the filter is coming here. So those two filters which we have added, now we'll have the button here, filter apply, which we added here, this below. Here, sorry. So we have added the filter button, what name we have given. So this is the name of this filter button. And based on that, if you want to filter here, so you can see based on the gender. So all those three options, it will display in the drop down. So we are having different options to display here. So we are having the drop down radio buttons or the checkbox. You can enable that one. So as for that requirement, you can design, and when you filter this one, you have to click on apply filter, and then it will search, it will filter your records on based on this. Okay, and one more thing is, when you use this search, the search will be applicable to all the columns what are present here in the grid. except if there are some like drop down type column, then it will not be applicable here. But mostly the text box, the lookups, the emails, and those things we are having, then and like date type fields, you can search the record based on that. So let me search if based on the mail if it is applicable here. So search will not work on that. So you can see the search is not working. However, if you want to use the another options, like you can see this is the drop down for me, gender as a column, this is drop down for me, and search will not work on this. However, if you want to search for the text box, it will work here. Okay, you can see it will work here, but in the case of some drop down, there are some limitations on the search. It will not work on that. For the search, you have to use the filters. If for the drop downs field, you have to use the filters to display the records, I believe. Okay, so this is how you can configure the records, I believe. Let me create the new record over here, and then we'll see if it is as we have designed. Like on the create of the record, we want to go to the edit mode, right? So let me enter the new details here. So now after filling the data, we will submit it. Okay, now you can see once the record is submitted, now it has opened in the edit mode. And further, if you want to amend anything, you can amend it and you can save these details. So this is how you can configure the records. And if you have anything needed on this details, you can let me know. I can share the informations. And I hope this video was useful for you and you have learned a lot of things from this. And thank you for watching this video, guys.